Okay, wow. So this has been a very interesting weekend thus far. Some stuff I really can't reveal to you or anybody at the moment. Big things are about to happen. But anyway, I'll leave that for another episode. About here, piddle farting around with the old girl. Some stuff that I got. I don't know if you guys saw that. New afterburner fuel tank. It's fitted kind of in there. It's mounted. I gotta trim a little bit off of this fairing to get her to really kind of fit in there better. But anyway, the original plan didn't work. It didn't fit how I imagined it, but that's so is life. But it's in there. Right now, I was kind of piddle farting around with the ignition box, trying to find a safe spot for that where it's not going to get too much heat or anything like that. Same with the ignition coil later. I was actually thinking about maybe just kind of mount her on one of these little brackets. I don't know. Well, I'm learning, okay? Give me a break. I tried bleeding the brakes yesterday, trying to bring the rear calipers to life, like Igor Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. Anyway, I tried bleeding them, and I'm just not getting anything out of them. And I think whatever little trickle that I was getting out of the bleeder valves, I think it was because I was gravity feeding new fluid through the cylinders and through the calipers, but when you step on the pedal, I'm not actually getting any pressure. I think I'm safe to assume that the calipers are still good, but I think I did find my culprit. Master cylinder for the rear brakes. Kind of hard to show, but anyway, when you apply the brakes, it pulls this lever and the Rube Goldberg mechanism, and this and that happens. And there's a little plunger in here that pushes on a piston inside of a cylinder. And when you apply pressure to that, it sends fluid to the calipers. Yes. Problem is that plunger in there, or actually, I'm sorry, the piston inside the cylinder in there, she's stuck like Chuck. So I think I did find, it took me a while to find the actual manufacturer of that. It's got some logos on it. It's hard to see it, but the sun has worn it out and all that stuff. It was hard to read. It did have a WK engraved on the body of that master cylinder, and after a little bit of research, I think I found out that WK stands for Wild Cart, which is actually still in business and manufacturing master cylinders. So I think what I can do, there's two options. I did find a rebuild kit. I got to find out what diameter. Those master cylinders have, like, I think 2 different size diameter bores, and I'll have to take that apart, measure it. I think it's a 22 millimeter bore, but I think I found a rebuild kit. Honestly, I think I'd rather just buy a new master cylinder altogether, only because Lord knows how old those things are, and I kind of need brakes. They're kind of critical. So at least we're making headway. At least I think I found that culprit. I'll figure something out. We'll probably just order a new master cylinder. The ones for the front, I believe, still work because they're actually locked up. After pumping the brakes a few times, front brakes, they locked up tighter than county jail. So I think they just need adjusting, so we don't have so much resistance. You know, I gotta be able to roll smoothly, quickly, preferably. Dropping rhymes. So, new development. A lot of you guys don't know this. Long time ago, back when men were made of steel and ships were made of wood, I ran into some Ukrainian foreign exchange students in Maryland, and at that time they were actually they were working as lifeguards at some different community pools, and they rolled up on me and my buddy Poofy in the Walmart parking lot one night. They stuck their head out of their car, and with like the thickest Russian accent I've ever heard, do you know where the local clubs are? I'm like, you're in Southern Maryland, buddy. Like, there ain't no clubs down here. So they got out of their car and they talked to us. One of them was Vlad, and the other one, I think his name was Fedor. And I got to hang out with those guys. Very cool dudes. Tall as all hell. I'm 6 foot and they towered me. But Vlad and I we were real close. We actually maintained communication for a little while after they went back home. They were from Kiev, Ukraine, and I believe they were engineering students. Vlad and I were still friends on the old Facebook, and he noticed that, you know, we actually don't live too far from each other right now. He's in Orlando and I'm down in Melbourne. So he hit me up. He's like, hey Mike, he's like, I got thinking about you the other day. Let's try to meet up. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I'm probably about done with everything I need to do on the go-kart for today. I'm just packing up tools, packing up everything. I gotta go in and wash my hands. I'm covered in hydraulic oil. But I think we're gonna meet up at the old Village Idiot Pub up in Cocoa Village. So let me wash up, and this is gonna be a fun day, dude. I haven't seen Vlad in 15-ish years, thereabouts. And when the war broke out, I was concerned. I reached out to him to see if he was okay, and he had told me that he had gotten out of Ukraine, and him and his wife were hanging out in, I think they were in Poland for a little bit, either Poland or Austria, and eventually he made it here to the States, and I guess he's just been hanging out in Orlando for a while. So let's get washed up and let's go meet my old buddy Vlad. Yeah.